What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw, and I want to talk about Avengers Endgame. Okay, pretty much all of you know that it was much anticipation for this film coming out. The film that was prior to this one, Avengers Infinity War, was extremely successful, and at the time, it set a opening day box office record of I think it made $650 million in its debut weekend, which at the time was a record. And Infinity went on to make a little over $2 billion globally in this theatrical run, which I think made it number 4 all time, behind only Avatar, which is number 1 at about 2.8 billion. Number 2 is Titanic, I believe, with 2.2 billion. And I think number 3 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens is number 3. All right, and number 4, of course, was Infinity. But this film just totally blew away what Infinity did last year, and its opening weekend. Avengers Endgame made $1.2 billion. And when I last looked at it, it's at over 1.3 billion. And it's actually already a top 10 all-time grossing film. And today, I think when they update the numbers, it's going to officially pass Black Panther to move into number 9. And at the rate it's going, it's probably going to surpass $2 billion by this weekend, which would put it in the top 4 in just its second weekend. And at the rate it's going to surpass Avatar as the highest grossing movie of all time. Now, there's other things you have to take into account. Inflation. Now, if you add inflation, and I think this might be a surprise to some people, when you take inflation into account, the highest grossing movie of all time is not Jaws, not Star Wars, you know what I'm saying, not E.T., not Jurassic Park, but Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind made almost $400 million back in 1939. You know, if you think about it, $400 million for a film is not too bad now. But if you take inflation into account, that's about $3.8 billion now. Not including DVD, Blu-ray, or television revenue. When you take that into account, even not including inflation, then there's some evidence to suggest that Titanic is the highest grossing movie of all time, if you add in DVD, Blu-ray, and television revenue, because it did so well with that, making well over $1 billion in that aspect. But I think I read somewhere where if you take television and DVD and Blu-ray and VHS sales, well, VHS back Gone with the Wind, 1930 something, later on in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But I think if you take all of the revenue into account, then Gone with the Wind made over $7 billion. So, I mean, if you really go that route with it, then yeah, Gone with the Wind is the most successful movie of all time. I think I even read that it's still the only movie to sell over $200 million tickets, 200 million tickets worldwide. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, still, what Avengers Endgame is doing right now is just nuts. I'm looking at a list right now. Like I said, it's number 10 right now at $1,343,000,000. And Black Panther, like I said, is number 9 at $1,346,000,000. So it's going to pass that. If it hasn't already passed it all, officially I think it's going to pass it by the end of the day. Then you have Avengers Age of Ultron, $1,405,000,000. Number 7, Furious 7, $1.5 billion. Number 6, The Avengers, the original one, $1.5 billion. Jurassic World, $1.7 billion. Avengers Infinity, a little over $2 billion. And like I said, the Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Titanic, and Avatar. So I remember, actually, to be honest with you, I remember doing like some type of pace thing, and I was trying to figure out like what Avengers Endgame, like the pace right now, what it's on pace to do. And right now it's on pace to make, not saying it's going to finish this way, but right now it's on pace to make $3.9 billion, which would be over $1 billion more than what Avatar's doing. Now, I'm not sure it's going to finish that way, but I do think it's on pace to obliterate what Avatar made. So that would end Avatar's 10-year run as the highest grossing movie of all time. But tell me what you guys think. All right.